All right, good morning and welcome back. Election 44 in full swing as candidates offer up some big promises and they are looking for your vote. BT has invited all of our federal party leaders to join us live here on the show to explain why they should be elected and how they plan to lead us out of this pandemic. Of course, that's at top of mind with a number of other issues. So joining me now is Annamie, leader of the Green Party of Canada. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Melanie.
Thank you for joining. Let's dive right in. It was about 10 months ago that you were elected party leader, and within that time, a lot has happened. There has also been a bit of instability within the party. So for you, as you are on the campaign trail, how do you put that all aside and move forward to get those votes?
Well, it's very easy to do because the issues on people's minds in Toronto Centre, where I'm running, for instance, and around the country, are not on those things. They're on the fourth wave of the pandemic, on how they're going to get their kids back to school, on the forest fires that have evacuated communities, on the drought, on affordability, and I could go on. And so nothing concentrates your mind more on what is important than being on the campaign trail. We shouldn't be in this election, but certainly people have a lot of issues that they want to share with me.
Okay, so let's talk about that platform. Right now, we are waiting on a full platform from the Green Party. The Conservatives have released a full, detailed one. Liberals were waiting on, and sort of a list of promises from the NDP. So where do you stand with releasing your full platform?
We will be releasing a full platform. As you said, parties have different schedules for that. Ours will be released absolutely. In the meantime, what we are doing is introducing people in Canada to various planks in our platform. We're hoping that they can focus at least a little bit, given how many other distractions there are at this time. I think dumping a 100-page document on them is probably not the way to go if we want them to be able to absorb our policies.
Okay, so all of this to come. Let's get to some of the topics now. Housing has become a big one on the campaign trail for a number of the leaders. You have pledged to work with other parties should you be successful. I'm going to bring in a viewer tweet because we did put this out to our viewers. This one coming to us from Jennifer saying, how does the Green Party plan on tackling the housing crisis and affordable housing for all in the GTA? Now, to our national viewers, GTA being the Greater Toronto Area and specifically where you are campaigning. So what is your answer to that?
Well, yesterday I did a press conference outside of a co-op housing community in Toronto Centre in Winchester Park. And I made the point that, we have been pushing and pushing during the session of Parliament, that we just closed to declare two twin crises, an affordability crisis for housing and also a homelessness crisis. And anyone across the country knows that housing is becoming more and more out of reach for people, whether it's rental or buying your first home. We know that the pandemic has made it worse. And so we had asked for that. We had asked for the commodification and speculation to be taken out of housing. We're calling for more deeply affordable units to be built, and for the federal government to get back into the business of building co-op housing, social housing, nonprofit housing, as we used to do, because it's what's needed now.
Looking at your campaign schedule, of course, it's concentrated in Toronto for those who have been paying attention, and you are looking to win a seat in Toronto. A viewer tweet coming to us from Kyle saying, do you plan to campaign outside of Toronto? Looking at the schedules of all the other leaders, green events have been planned in Toronto so far, and the environment and climate change is a topic that many Canadians would like to discuss with the Green Party leader. Indeed, there is a budget at play as well here. So can you talk a little bit about this and where you will be going in the weeks ahead?
I think that this election cycle, given that it's happening in the fourth wave of a pandemic and a climate emergency, is really an opportunity for us to rethink what campaigning looks like. We learned a lot during the pandemic about how we can connect with people across the country, even without being physically there. And there's still many risks to being physically with people at this time. The idea that flying in a jumbo jet, as all the other parties are doing, from one location to another to stand in an airport hangar and make an announcement, the idea that that's connecting with people is a bit silly, frankly. And so we're going to be reaching out to people wherever we are through new technologies, virtual means. And if there are some opportunities to travel, I will do that. But we've got to rethink what modern campaigning looks like. And the Green Party is all about innovation.
Let's look forward if we can, Ms. Paul, because right now, at top of mind for everyone is this pandemic. How do we get out of it? What is the Green Party's solution in getting out of it? And that includes the post-pandemic economic recovery.
Well, that's exactly what we should have been going back to Parliament to talk about right now. We can see that COVID infection rates are spiking all across the country. We've heard already from international partners that they're talking about the need for boosters because even with the second dose, vaccines are starting to wear off in other countries that were a bit further ahead than us. So what are we doing here in an election under those circumstances? I don't know. We should be talking about how we get out of this pandemic and how we defeat it once and for all here and everywhere. Part of the recovery, when we get to that, because we're still not in recovery mode yet, is talking about the exciting prospect of a green recovery. I want to join the United States and the European Union in planning a recovery that is based around renewable energy, that is based around building the infrastructure we're going to need to get down to zero emissions, because we can see all across the country right now the impact that climate change is having. We don't want it to get worse, and we have this tremendous economic opportunity at the same time if we do both things together.
Okay, that is Federal Green Party leader Annamie Paul joining us live here on Breakfast Television. We thank you for your time.